half kneeling press to stand. This is a really fun variation because it's got a level change in it, so that basically means that I'm sneakily making you work harder. Okay, so to get started, we're gonna be in a half kneeling position, which means that you're gonna have one knee up and one knee down. I'm using this pad just to be a little more friendly on my knees. You certainly don't have to use a pad, but I really kind of like doing that. And the other reason I like using a pad is that it helps to even out my hips a little bit. So when we're in this half kneeling position, we just want to make sure that even if we don't have the pad, that we're really not hiking one side of the hip up or just kind of sitting into the hip joint like so. So you want to make sure that you're really kind of pushing up out of the ground, and you can kind of try and think about lowering the side that is up. Okay, so if I don't really think about anything, you see how this side just kind of wants to hike up here. So what I want to do is kind of do this right here, and then I'm going to take this side of my pelvis and tilt it under ever so slightly, just so that I'm not really kind of dumping forward on that side of my pelvis. Now, I don't need to like stretch into this, okay? A lot of people will kind of posteriorly tilt and then go into sort of like a psoas stretch. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not what we're doing here. Okay, so I don't want you to put this on stretch. All right, I don't want you feeling anything like being really tight down and through here. I just want you to posteriorly tilt so that, you know, pelvis is in a really nice good position, but don't lean forward and kind of get all this stretching. All right, now that you've got the pelvis in a really good position, we're gonna make sure we exhale, tension from the bottom up, ribs down. And what I like to do is stick my non-working arm out to the side, and I'm just gonna make a fist, okay? The reason that I'm gonna do that is because it does what is called irradiate tension. If we don't do something with this hand, it's just gonna like flop here by our side, and we're gonna be pressing up, and it's gonna be like, just kind of like flapping in the breeze, and we don't want that. The whole point of this strength building exercise is to help us generate tension and produce force, all right? So you're gonna take your hand, ball it up into a fist, and stick it out by your side, okay? And make like a really, like if someone were to hit your arm, it should not move, okay? It's not just like hanging loosely out there. Really, really have it strong, strong out here. You're gonna take your weight, and I did it in a neutral press, which just means that I'm pressing like so. You could do this with a rotating press where you go here. You could do it with an externally rotated press, which is right here. That's going to be a little bit harder. This gets a little more range of motion at the scapula. Or we can do that neutral press that is really, really shoulder friendly, especially if you know you kind of have some clicks or anything like that in your shoulder. You can use that neutral position right here. All right, so I'm going to switch up my knees just to give them a break. All right, pelvis in a good position again, irradiating tension out here. We're going to pretend I just did my press, okay? Now from here, what I want to do is stand up. When I stand up, what I don't want to do is just like momentum and like rock up like this, okay? So I shouldn't see you really leaning forward and then trying to get up like so. My goal is for you to stand up as if you are in an elevator, okay? So you will have to lean forward slightly, but you're going to lean forward, and I like to put my toes on my back foot kind of underneath, and then I'm going to start pressing through, and then I'm going to stand up, okay? So there's a big difference between me doing that and me doing this. So here I'm using a lot of momentum to get up and down. What I want you to do is be able to come up, and then, whoop, don't hit your foot on the dumbbell, and then come back down like so, okay? Yes, it's gonna make it harder. Yes, I know that. But we're trying to control the range of motion that we're using versus just using momentum to get through the whole thing. When you get to the standing position, you're gonna have your dumbbell by your side. Exhale. You should feel very nice and controlled here. You shouldn't feel loosey-goosey or like the dumbbell's coming down or anything like that. And then you're just gonna bring your leg back down. You're gonna come here, get your pelvis reset again, press, stand back up, come back down, and that's how you do it.